Well, hello there. My name is Mark Miles, and I love helping trainers, presenters, workshop facilitators really take their results to the next level. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about something that is so simple, yet is something that you can do to your PowerPoints to create massive shifts in levels of engagement. Because if you're watching this video, you may be a trainer, presenter, you may be somebody that's stepping into that role, or you may even be just a student and you are wondering why death by PowerPoint happens, and it still happens to this day, right? And it's kind of sad that I even need to make this video because you would think in this year of 2023, we would have figured out by now death by PowerPoint. We've had enough, folks. We really have. And ultimately, death by PowerPoint comes down to a couple of reasons. One, laziness, right? Basically, laziness in the sense of I'm just going to put all my information on the slides and then I'm going to read it to you. And then I'm going to expect you to be excited as you listen to me reading the information, right? And it's kind of a silly idea, silly concept. And second part is that people believe that PowerPoint is the presentation. But what we need to realize is that, sorry, folks, yes, you are actually the message. You are actually the message, and the PowerPoint is just the backup or the visual aid that supports your message that you're actually delivering. So, having said all of that, though, we cannot blame people for not knowing any different, right? And that's really the purpose of this video, to really give you one simple strategy that you can use to add to your PowerPoints to transform it from a one-way dump on your audience to a dialogue or to an engaging experience that really actually gets your audience curious and wondering and a little bit of a sense of anticipation, right? And when you can actually create that wonder, that curiosity, that engagement, then your session is going to be so much more productive and people are really going to go, wow, this is different. I've never had this before. Now, what I'm going to share with you is a tool, a tactic that you can use to actually get people brought into your session as opposed to just dumping on them. Now, this strategy is not going to be something you use for every single one of your PowerPoints, but it will be something that you use quite regularly. What I'm going to show you is something you can also use on flip charts as well. And it even works even better on flip charts. So you want to be thinking about how can I use a great combination of both PowerPoint, flip charts, and even the whiteboard, but all of them are used for different reasons. And I've done a different video on that one, of course, but let's jump into the one simple thing that you can do to add to your PowerPoints to really get people hooked and engaged, right? So let's jump to it and let's have a bit of a teaching moment as we jump into this, folks, right? So I'm just going to bring up this slideshow, right? And hopefully you can see it on the screen there. Now, the first thing I'm going to actually show you is, guess what? A blank screen. Oh my gosh, it's a blank screen. Now, it's a little bit unusual, but we need to appreciate that people are kind of sick and tired of seeing all of the stuff on the screen all of the time. And one of the great things that you can actually do is put multiple blank screens throughout your presentation. And what you can actually do is before you show the next slide, have a blank screen and then start to talk about the topic before you actually show the slide. And the kind of the methodology or the idea here is that you sell the slide, show the slide, sell the slide, show the slide, sell the slide when you've got the blank screen on, then show the slide. So, for example, if you're about to share something, you can say, all right, folks, and you've got the blank screen up, you can say, all right, folks, the next thing that we're going to cover is going to be truly transformational. As a leader, you're going to get so much out of it, and it's going to be something that you'll be able to implement straight away and get great results. So grab a pen, get ready to write, and let me reveal to you the number one secret that is going to transform your leadership. So let's check it out, folks. And then you can show the slide, right? So it is just a simple tactic of actually including multiple moments of actually having a blank slide. The other thing you can actually do is turn off the screen, right? You can certainly turn it off and have a moment of, personal sharing or self-reflection, or even just, telling a story, then show the concept, right? Sell the slide, show the slide. Sell the slide, show the slide. All right, folks, now let's shift to the next tool or tactic, and that is called creating suspense and stripping things back. Stripping things back. Because what we need to realize is that one of your jobs as a facilitator or trainer is to highlight what people need to know. But unfortunately, many trainers have the belief that they can actually speak and everybody listening is going to remember every single thing that they are told. What a load of, I can't even say the word, sure, probably shouldn't say the word, but a load of BS, right? And basically, there is a presumption that I'm going to talk and you're going to remember everything I say. But there's actually studies that show that after your presentation, people remember, or sorry, let me change it this way, people forget 90% of what you actually say. 90%. So they actually only probably remember maybe one or two things from an entire session. So if you think about that, it's really your job to really pick out the important things for your audience to be remembering, right? So, maybe you want to show the slide and, maybe it's got 20 things on there. You want to strip it back. So maybe it's only got 3 or 4 things on there. And even within that, you want to be highlighting the key thing that you want them to take away from that slide. So you want to be saying, grab a pen and write that thing down. Grab a pen and write that down, right? Or the other thing is, from this slide, the number one thing I want you to take away is X, Y, Z, right? And you can even turn the screen off as they write that down, all right? Again, we're just laying the foundations for an engaging experience. Next one. All right, this is going to get a little bit more technical, but it's all about stripping information back. So let's check it out. All right, so this is an original slide, all right? And I won't really explain the concept because I think I've done another video on empowering beliefs, but the original slide looks like this, right? So if you're going to present it, you would have all of the words there, right? That's your original slide. And I'll show you what the after looks like in just a moment, right? So the original slide, we got all of the words there, and we're no such thing as perfect presentation, great. Every presentation practice for the next, great, we know that. The more I present, the more confident I get, great. We've got all of the words there. Number 4, feedback is my competitive advantage, great. Then we've got the book reference, we've got the name of the actual book there, great. So wonderful, but engaging? No, all right? How will we actually transform that into an engaging slide? Simple. Take out all the stuff that is going to distract people. So what would the after effect look like? This. So suspense style slide, number 1, there's no such thing as a perfect. And what you actually do is you're automatically creating a moment where people are wondering what's going to go in there. And there's a moment of engagement. There's a moment of curiosity and guessing. And what you can do is you teach number 1. And as you're teaching number 1, people are writing down what goes in the blank. Number 2, every presentation practice for the next, right? Number 3, the more I present, the more confident I get. And what it allows you to do is teach the thing, and people need to be listening to what you're actually going to say, as opposed to just drifting off into la la land and wondering what's happening on their Twitter feed. Last of all, number 4, feedback is my competitive advantage. And I put in the words book reference. I haven't said what the name of the title of the book is. They actually need to listen up for the name of the book, right? Now, it's such a thin, simple thing, but it completely changes the dynamic, right? And you can even do this on a flip chart. You can do it on a whiteboard as well. But it is a simple process of putting blanks on your slides. Put blanks on your slides. Let's look at another example. All right, example 2, of 3 pillars to successful presentations, right? And if you've been following me, you know this model. We got rapport, engagement, retention, right? And it's like this would be the before slide. This would be the not so great version, right? If I wanted to teach this, and what I would do is I would transform it into this, the 3 pillars to successful presentations. Then I'm going to have RER. And I'm just going to leave that. I'm just going to put the first letter of each of the concepts. And I could certainly design it. So put RER. I could put it like pillars if I wanted to. But the fact that I have not put the full word is what actually creates the engagement there. All right. So what I've done there is I've just given you some examples of, let's come back, how you can actually use a blank screen to your advantage, right? It's just a state break, so to speak. You sell the slide, then show the slide, all right? Now, this one was an example of stripping things back. and putting blanks on the slides there. All right, stripping things back. This is an engaging version. Then we had an example of just putting, 3 words here, and then, absolutely want to take that back and have the dot there. So what you would do is naturally this is going to be the slide that you show. And what you could also do, if you really wanted to show a completed version, you could show this slide. Then afterwards, you show the completed version as well if you wanted to. Then, all right. Now we often have pushback from people that say, "Oh, but I have to show my learners all the policies and procedures and the laws and legislations." I'm like, fine, do that, but have an engaging version of it first. Talk about the thing, then show the complete version of the slide with all the policy procedures and legislation and stuff, right? That way, you're going to get a lot more engagement, and people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I need to pay attention there. All right. So, what we've done here is just gone through some simple examples that you can use to really transform your PowerPoints. How do we do it? What's the moral of the story? Take away information so people actually need to guess, and people actually need to listen up to you and what you've actually got to say. Because if it's all on there, I don't need to listen to you. I could just read the PowerPoints myself and go home, right? And I'd rather sit on the beach and read your PowerPoints than listen to you just read your PowerPoints, right? Please, let's just put some effort, some time, some energy, and some focus into making our PowerPoints a little bit more engaging. How do we do it? Chuck some blanks on there. Include some more blank slides. Start to get better at setting up your slides. Start to actually go, all right, here's a slide with like 20 pieces of information. The only thing you need to actually write down from this slide is XYZ, right? And tell them that one thing, right? And that'll also instigate a habit of going, oh, yeah, okay, he's going to show me something, but he's actually going to point out the one thing or the two things that I really need to listen to. All right. So hopefully you got some value from this video. I really want to make it as instructional as I could. It's such a simple thing, but it's such a shift in dynamic. And once you have it, you're like, whoa, I could never, ever design PowerPoints with everything on there ever again, right? Because you know that you watching this video right now, you are the message, not the PowerPoint, all right? The PowerPoint just sits behind your message, and you are the conduit to that message there, folks, all right? So hopefully you got some value. Hopefully you took notes. Hopefully you're saying the thing, how could I apply that to my PowerPoints? I've got this stuff that I need to present. How could I make it even more engaging, strip stuff back, sell the slide, show the slide, all the fun things that we've talked about there. On that note, folks, like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's get this out there, and let's stop the death by PowerPoint. Hopefully you got some value, and we'll see you on the next one. My name is Mark Miles, helping you learn and trained to speak to be remembered and having a larger impact on whatever audience you speak to, either online or face-to-face.